¿A dónde está papi? 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 ¿A dónde está papi?
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Monday stream. I hope everyone's having an awesome Monday. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Conscious Canuck. I will start by pre-lurking. Will be active in about an hour. All right. Could a mod make me a band sandwich? No, sir. We haven't taken that type of order in quite a while. Cosmic Seeking, happy Monday. How's it going? Trump indictment week, maybe. Supposedly. We'll see how that turns out. If anything comes up, we will definitely report on it. I believe this week the grand jury is going to meet, or is going to review the evidence or something like that. So we might see some news on that. We might not. I have absolutely no idea. Michael Hassler, how's it going? Yes, subscribe to the YouTubes. Banned sandwiches from Subway. No, I don't believe. Does Subway do banned sandwiches? Echo Wrestle Dragon, how's it going? Tomorrow, I believe it's for the grand jury. Okay, so tomorrow they meet. All right, so maybe we might get a decision this week. That might be the case. Eat fresh. They're interviewing 10 witnesses today, and they moved this up because Trump has been making threats. Got it. Okay, so they're moving up the they're moving up the investigations. Okay, that's fine by me. That is a-okay by me. I have jury duty tomorrow. Oh boy. Did you get selected? Oh wait, no. Are you going there for the first time? Oh, sorry, folks. I'm exhausted today. All right. We'll see if we make this if this stream a little bit short. Oh, okay. Jury pool. All right. So you might get selected. You might not. Got it. Got it. Yeah, so Trump is definitely making threats. I mean, like, the last one was 3 hours ago. Dude's engaging the stochastic terrorism on 11 right now. I was curious to see if anything was on his Truth Social. But yeah, he did post, I just hope Republicans and the people of our now failing nation see what is happening to our democracy and freedom. A sitting president has indicted in many different forms and locals. What? Locales, I guess. His political opponent who is substantially leading him in the polls. That's not true. Nothing like this has ever happened before. That's true. That's true. That's true. A sitting president has not been indicted. That's true. Our country can never let this stand. That's pretty, like, that's activating the stochastic terrorism right there. That's telling his folks to get ready. Essentially. And that was just from 3 hours ago. Also, to be clear, Biden isn't the one doing these indictments. Just to be clear. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody knows this, but I'm pretty sure Biden does not have the singular authority or power to hand out indictments. That's not how this works. He has been retweeting QAnon threats. Unprecedented to go after a former president. You need more. You're going to need an actual case. Well, it seems like they have several. One of many. This is in all caps, by the way. 7 hours ago. One of the many things I have done as president, and thereafter, is to expose the massive corruption and fraud that takes place on a regular basis within the U.S. Look how corrupt the Department of Injustice has turned out to be. Alright, whatever. I mean, this dude's scared. Look at this. 8 hours ago. Will somebody please tell all caps too? The Fulton County jury that I didn't. Wait, you can't do that. Wait, you can't. Oh my God, this is actually. This cannot be legal, right? Let me put it on screen, folks. This actually cannot be legal. Hold on. Right? You can't do this, right? Will somebody please tell the Fulton County grand jury? Like, no, you can't tell people to interfere in an investigation that you're involved in. You can't tell people to go mess with the grand jury. That I did not tamper with the election. The people that tampered with it were the ones that rigged it. Okay, so he's spreading election misinformation. And sadly, phony Fannie Willis, who has shockingly allowed Atlanta to become one of the most dangerous cities anywhere. Wait, is she in Atlanta? DA? Also, is Atlanta one of the most dangerous cities anywhere in the world? I seriously doubt that. Has no interest in seeing the massive amount of evidence available or finding out who these people that committed this crime are. She only wants to get Trump. I would happy to show this info to the GH. I don't know what the GH is. Hello, person who's been banned in certain channels. Detroit is? In the world? No, I don't think so. I want the judge to set up a gagging order on him with the threat of jail and $1 million fine if he breaks it. I mean, he's sure to break it. Like, the dude's gonna break a gag order. Like, a gag order on Trump is, like, basically entrapment, right? Because you know that he's going to break it, like, without a doubt. The dude will be on, like, True Social, like, that day. But in all seriousness, yeah, this dude needs to be in jail. Because this then might not be in this case, so never mind. But yeah, this dude does not. This dude belongs in jail. He's telling someone. Okay, he's just putting it out there. That someone should actually go to the grand jury and like interfere in that investigation on his behalf. I'm pretty sure that's not okay. I'm pretty sure like that's grounds for obstruction, right? If you're like literally telling people like your followers to go and interfere in an investigation on your behalf, pretty sure that that's not okay. It's called racketeering. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Can Trump shut up for 1 week? No, in this case, it's actually good, because all of this is going to be presented as evidence. In this case, the more he talks, the better it is, because all of this, the more he puts on the record, the more evidence is going to be presented. This is all just going to rack up. So in this case, nah. In this case, I want him to continue. Alio with the 11 biddies. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I understand through illegal leaks to the fake news media that phony Fannie Willis, the DA of Fulton County, Georgia, wants desperately to indict me on the ridiculous grounds of tampering. It's not really ridiculous when you have fucking like there's literally evidence of him in a phone call. But of course, he then proceeds to say, I didn't tamper with the election. Those who rigged and stole the election were the ones doing the tampering. Okay, dude, who stole the election? The election wasn't stolen, my dude. You just lost. You're a fucking loser, just like the rest of your fucking cult and your party. And he even references this very same evidence. I made a perfect phone call of protest. Trump's rope with to hang. Yeah, like the more this dude posts, the better it is, honestly. Yeah, the dude's freaking out. Oh, the dude's freaking out. How dare low-life prosecutor, deranged Jack Smith, break into my former Twitter account? No, he obtained a warrant, my dude. Okay, so in order for like a warrant to be deployed, not only do you have to get a warrant by the judge, but also you have to inform the counsel of the person who's being searched, right? Like that's how that works. Otherwise, who are you showing the warrant to? I wish Fox and Newsmax would tell Trump to go on vacay. Nah. Keep him. Let him cook. Let him cook. For once, him continuing to be on like media presence and continuing to post, and put things on the record, the better it is. Honestly, the more this dude posts, the more likely it is that that evidence is going to continue to pile on. On the other hand, it makes him incredibly dangerous. So I acknowledge that. The dude should be in jail, to be honest. Alright, that's enough of that.
Nominating Donald Trump for the Republican Party is a lot like peeing in your pants, right? It's going to feel good for a couple of seconds.
What? What? Okay. Hold on. We need to rewind on that. Hey, spread it forward. How's it going? Welcome. Hey, Bond. How's it going?
nominating Donald Trump for the Republican Party is a lot like
Sharpie
peeing
Diesel,
in your
how's it going?
pants, right? It's going to feel good for a couple of seconds.
On the verge of yet another indictment, former President Donald Trump has broken the law again, this time publicly. It is very clear. So I'm going to get to what that is. I'm going to get to some clips as well that have to do with him breaking the law and who it's targeted at. Let's all start with the basis for all of this, which is what went on in Georgia. So this is the potential indictment that is likely coming down. Actually, as of recording this, right before I hit record, there was a news story on this that I'll get to in just a second here. But this is over, of course, the investigation.
I thought Trump wore diapers. Well, to be fair, they're talking about the Republican Party. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they had to go with that.
Into
Like, you could have literally said anything else. They could have literally said, like, oh, nominating Trump is like shooting yourself on the foot. Okay. You could have literally just said that. I like this emote. Trump news just seemed like theater to me. This dude is never going into a prison cell. You think so? You think so? I mean, I will see it. I will believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it. But I think it's serious this time, or at least the most serious or close that it's ever going to get, to be fair. Did you see the rights response to the FBI in Utah? Charlie Kirk saying how the guy was just a poor old guy. What? Wait, the guy, the domestic terrorist who threatened to like assassinate Biden? I mean, it's not surprising. Okay, so that's the guy. Not surprising coming from Charlie Kirk. Coming from Charlie, when do we get to use the guns, Kirk? Right? I mean, that's the kind of audience he cultivates, and that's the kind of people he activates. So it makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense.
Election interference that Trump engaged in. Prosecutors in Georgia opened their investigation in February 2021, just weeks after Trump made a phone call to Brad Raffensperger, Georgia's Secretary of State, and urged him to find enough votes to overturn the results of the election.
Right, like, wait a minute. So the dude complained, or is currently complaining, that all of a sudden now it's when they're gonna hit him. No, man, the investigation happened. The investigation happened weeks after that event. Did you hear the song that's all the talk of today? That's so damn divisive, which of course is making it spread like wildfire. No, I have not. I have not. What song?
There. And I'm going to get to a clip from that call in case you forget it, because I went back when I covered that call. I listened to the whole clip, and man, I forgot just how terrible that whole call was. Though Trump calls it a perfect call. We'll judge that in a second. But this just came out as I hit record. This from the Midas Touch Network. Georgia set to indict
Live
Trump
react.
on multiple
Okay, can you send it to me? Can you send it to me?
felony charges report. So after initial confusion, Reuters reports that Trump will be charged with a variety of charges, including racketeering, conspiracy, and false statements. So this initially went online, and then I guess it was deleted for some reason because they weren't ready yet. So this is still a developing story, but it goes into what we're going to talk about with Trump breaking the law here on Truth Social. So this is the call that is the basis for all of this. Check this out. I cut it down here because the call is much longer than just, a minute or two that I'm going to show you. But this is just, in case you forget, this is amazing.
So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have. because we won the state. So tell me, Brad, what are we going to do? We won the election, and it's not fair to take it away from us like this. And it's going to be very costly in many ways. And I think you have to say that you're going to re-examine it, and you can re-examine it, but re-examine it with people that want to find answers, not people that don't want to find answers.
So, in other
I
words,
forgot
give me
how
the
terrible that
election.
call was. The perfect phone call. Donald Trump.
Yeah, like, we won the election, dude. So find me the fucking votes that say, bro, how do you square that circle for me? Hold on a second. You won the election, but you're calling, but you're calling to find the votes needed to win the election that you won? Question mark. Okay. I think you have to say, yeah. Don't worry, we'll do it after this one.
Clearly trying to pressure state officials to overturn the results of the election in Georgia so that he could win that state and not Biden. This goes into what his latest lawbreaking is about. So Caitlin Collins here of CNN tweeting this out. Former Georgia Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan has been asked to appear before a Fulton County grand jury Tuesday.
Tomorrow.
He confirms to CNN one of the strongest indications yet that the district attorney will begin presenting the Trump case before a grand jury early next week. So this feeds into the indictment that is.
Yeah, so I don't know if we're going to see anything this week. Can you imagine going to the boss and say, it's not right for you to let me go this way? What kind of election did he think this was? I have no idea.
Coming down. And Jeff Duncan confirming this on Twitter. I can confirm that I've been requested to testify before the Fulton County grand jury on Tuesday. I look forward to answering their questions around the 2020 election. Republicans should never let honesty be mistaken for weakness. This is where we get to Trump breaking the law. It's very clear. He is trying to tamper a witness here. Trump on Truth Social shortly after this news saying, I am reading reports that failed former Lieutenant Governor of Georgia, Jeff Duncan, will be testifying before the Fulton County grand jury. He shouldn't. I barely know him, but he was right. But he was right from the beginning. But he was right from the beginning of this witch hunt. A nasty disaster for those looking into the election fraud that took place in Georgia. He refused having a special session to find out what went on, became very unpopular with Republicans. I refused to endorse him, and fought the truth all the way. A loser. He went to CNN. I think that's what he's saying here. He clearly is pressuring a witness here to not testify.
Right. This is
so
clear.
This isn't, me saying it. I'm not a lawyer. These are legal experts.
I mean, to be fair, like, it's pretty clear cut. The moment you mess.
Brazen Post from Daily Beast here. Quote, these are legal experts saying this who were shown.
The moment you're and the other post that we just saw like an hour ago saying that like somebody should go and tell the grand jury on my behalf that I'm innocent or some shit. No, man. That's not how this works. All those witnesses were called in today and they're asking to continue the hearing late. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to finish this week. Witness tampering or threatening a witness. I forgot the charge. Yeah, I mean, definitely witness tampering. Because he's basically trying to... he's trying to say that somebody shouldn't testify.
Shocked by the Brazen Post from Daily Beast here. Quote, this morning's first attempt at witness intimidation, attorney George Conway.
Oh, witness intimidation. Oh, my bad. I think you're right. Spread it forward.
Frequent Trump critic whose ex-wife Kellyanne worked in the Trump administration posted to Twitter. Former U.S. Attorney Barbara McQuade posted a similar sentiment, writing that Trump's morning rant was witness tampering in real time. And Anthony Michael Kreis, a lawyer professor, I can't read today, a law professor at Georgia State University, called the post blatantly unlawful stuff that could warrant a charge of influencing witnesses. This is exceptionally bad, even for Trump, he said. So
yeah, I mean, like, it's very obvious that he's doing the thing. I mean, hopefully all of this comes into evidence, but they definitely need to add this to the list of charges, for sure. They definitely need to add this to the list of charges.
Like, for anyone wondering, is there a two-tiered justice system? Like, all these Trump supporters, oh, there's a two-tiered justice system. They're all Trump is getting charged with things that no one else would. Anybody else who's broken the law this many times and has done so publicly would have been in jail, in prison, a long time ago. Trump is still a free man. So yes, there is a two-tiered justice system in favor of wealthy individuals, powerful individuals, former presidents, especially Donald Trump. Now, let's get to, quickly here, again, I'm not going to read through this, but there is a long history that Trump has with witness tampering. So you could check out this article below. They mentioned a few names here: Paul Manafort, Michael Cohen, Roger Stone, Michael Flynn, Don McGahn. It goes on and on. James Comey. It goes on and on and on. So I'll link to that below under sources if you want to read through with other examples. But I want to show you why Trump hates this guy so much, Jeff Duncan. So it's not just because he didn't go along with Trump's lie about Georgia. Of course, that is a big part of it. But it's also because of how publicly this guy has spoken about Donald Trump. So let me show you a couple examples. This first one is shortly after that phone call came out that I showed you earlier with Donald Trump. Here is what Jeff Duncan had to say then.
I mean, just to be clear, like, if that phone call never came out, I'm pretty sure that these guys would have just tried to sweep it under the rug, okay? The fun part is that the Georgia governor is a Republican who isn't totally a Trumper. Yeah, it's going to work against him, right? He's going to die a free man, unfortunately. I mean, it's possible. It's possible after all this. Yeah, it is possible. Not only die a free man, but still, as of right now, like, and this is just the wild part about this whole situation, is that he, as of this time, has a chance of winning the election too.
Look, any Republican, including the president, that wants to fan the flames and spread this misinformation about election fraud, quite honestly, it's just an excuse for the loss, and it's not a solution. It's not going to help. It hasn't helped us gained momentum to get us here today. It certainly hasn't. It's been a distraction.
So Jeff Duncan has been publicly very open about how Trump is just lying. He's not being truthful about the results of the election, how he is just trying to hide the fact that he lost and he can't take it. And that's shortly after the election. His insults have increased in some way. So this is a clip from CNN. I find this pretty amusing. This is a clip from CNN from the end of last month, July 29th, 2023 here. So check out how Jeff Duncan's talking about Trump now.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. You're right, spread it forward. He got away with a fuck ton of shit.
Look, they should all be unanimous in rebuking anything Donald Trump has to do and say.
Yeah, like, well, yeah, so far he has remained a free man with zero consequences so far. But, yeah. He's one of the biggest con men in history. True.
He's hijacked our Republican Party. And, this may be funny to say, but I was making this analogy last night. Nominating Donald Trump for the Republican Party is a lot like peeing in your pants, right? It's going to feel good for a couple of seconds. But then you wake up and you realize the realities of what you just did. We're going to get beat in the general because we picked the wrong candidate. We couldn't get out of our own way.
That's quite a catchy analogy.
Nice meme.
Jeff.
Nominating Trump is like peeing your pants. I I haven't peed my pants in a while. I gotta say, I don't remember it ever feeling good. But I like the analogy there because comparing Trump to, some soiled pants seems pretty accurate to me. I'm also impressed by the other host there. Both of them really, but the one host, I forget his name, but just completely straight-faced. There's no reaction at all. How do you not laugh at that line? But last thing to end on here.
I would have cracked up. Sorry. I would have cracked up. Not gonna lie. I would have cracked up. I would have broke right there. Speaking of, I'm on my way home and I have to pee. Peeing your pants feels good because holding your pee hurts. Gotcha.
Since this may be something to look forward to out of the incoming indictment in Georgia, Axios.
Hello, one day account. You seem like a whiny liberal soy boy. True. So then why are you here? So then why are you here? This doesn't make any sense.
Sharing this. Fulton County Sheriff Pat Labatt says if indicted, Trump's mugshot will be taken. If that were to happen, it would be the first for the already thrice indicted former president. Quote, unless somebody tells me differently, we are following our normal practices, so it doesn't matter your status. We'll have a mugshot ready for you. So, in addition to, a new indictment, we get to see Trump's mugshot, most likely. How about that? But here you go. Let's see what comes.
I wanted to pet my pet. Oh, man. Imagine, the only thing that you can muster, intellectually, is just to, call somebody a whiny little liberal soy boy. There's only one of those that are actually true. Usually we play, but it's been busy lately. True.
Comes out of this witness tampering, this blatant unlawful behavior. I'm sure very little will, at least in the short term, but maybe it's just another charge to add on to the countless others.
Yeah, true. All right, let's see this song that you're talking about. Live react to this song. What are you trying to sell me? Taco Bell? Is this Taco Bell? Yeah, it is. Sounds like a 6-year-old fat MAGA dude who can't walk to the end of his driveway without needing to take a break. Probably. The reality TV star who wants the presidential attention. Why is PosadaBot just deleting its own messages? Alright, let's hear it.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think,
Not
what you do.
not this.
I don't think you know, but I know that you do. 'Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end. 'Cause the rich men, 'cause the rich men.
Are we going on the taxation memes? I mean, He's not wrong so far. Rich people suck. Got it. It gets, you'll see. Okay. All right. We're just a minute in.
I wish politicians would look out for minors and not.
Whoa! Oh man, here we go. Oh man, are we gonna go into are we gonna go into the groomer narrative? Is that what it is? Are we going into the groomer narrative?
Just miners on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the whole beast milking welfare. Well, God, if you're 5'3".
Wait. You're complaining about whole beast milking welfare? What are you talking about? Is he complaining about welfare? You were literally just saying how your fucking like job has shitty pay. Like we started off in the right direction, pointing the fingers at the right direction, and now we're complaining about politicians not protecting minors, which sounds like a fucking dog whistle for like the whole gay groomer trope, and now we're talking about welfare.
And your 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves
What?
6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down.
What? This made no sense.
Lord,
Okay.
it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole
Did he say new world? Okay.
soul. These rich men know the rich men. Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. 'Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end. 'Cause the rich men know the rich men.
Well, the problem isn't like necessarily the taxing. The problem is what they're using it for, right? We need closed cap. The X-Men North. Yeah, it's not the best. Okay. The closed captioning on the YouTube isn't the best.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay.
So I was watching Fox News the other day. All right. Pretty sure you can look up the lyrics. Lance was just talking about this song too. Right, like join a union. He was like pointing. He was almost there at the beginning there. What's that meme? Like, I thought they had us in the first half. Like, he started talking about, like, obviously the rich people are fucking, like, fucking up the working class, bullshit pay and whatever, and then we start talking about, oh boy, we went from 0 to 100 real quick. Talking about, like, adrenochrome drinking, I guess, pedophiles. Like, I don't know. I can't really grasp, like, what he was talking about. Did he mean like the gay groomer trope, or did he mean like the QAnon, like Democrat socialist drinking adrenochrome children, Epstein Island, like, I don't know, the QAnon thing? It almost sounded like a QAnon dog whistle there for a second. Pretty sure you can look up the lyrics. Is the lyrics on the show transcript? What if I just what if yeah, it almost looks like actually it almost looks like he might have actually been going more towards the QAnon stuff. Because like now that I'm reading it, I wish politicians would look out for minors and not just minors on an island, Epstein's Island. So it sounds like he's like trying to like signal like the dog whistle for QAnon. Somewhere, Lord, we got folks in the street that ain't nothing to eat, and the whole beast milking welfare. What are you talking about? What does this mean? But if you're 300 pounds, taxes don't not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. What are you talking about? This makes no sense. This other word saying another, money is more important than morals, jack off. Is that the point of this song? He's trying to do working class music, but also shit on the obese and welfare takers. Right, that's why I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? Here, where is it? Like, oh, typical modern song, stop looking for sense, and it won't make sense. Not realizing 90% of those on welfare are employed, yep. Oh, okay, wait a minute. Okay, hold on. This makes a lot more sense. No, this makes way more sense. Okay, so I wish politicians would look out for minors, and not just minors, which is a play on words, on an island somewhere. Okay, so yeah, this is definitely some kind of QAnon whistle here. Lord, we got folks in the streets, ain't nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. Okay. Or here's the thought. Why are there people on the street? Why not just solve that problem? Well, God, if you're 5'3" and 300 pounds, taxes on not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground because damn, this country is keep. Oh, okay, so I get damn, dude, men are the real victims. Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. That's right. Men's masculinity is being attacked in this country. Gotcha. I understand. Yeah, this makes a lot more sense now. Yeah, I see it, Conscious Canuck. Yeah, it makes so much sense. Now that I see the lyrics, thank you, Echo Wrestle Dragon. Now that I see the lyrics for real, it makes it makes so much sense now. Stream like a pro? Oi! Do I not stream like a pro? What are you trying to say? Man, these ads are getting a little bit cheeky, huh? What are you trying to say? These ads are getting cheeky. All right, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Yeah, this is bullshit. Ah. Honky Tonk victim cosplay. GB? Like the conservative news network? Oh, from Great Britain. Got it. Also, the industrial food supply is the cause of the obesity epidemic. If we didn't have all to refine this and process that, we'd be a lot healthier. I mean, true, but of course he's blaming like welfare, and fat people, I guess. Do people not like realize what the song is about? Did people just not listen to the lyrics? No autotune, no violence, no naked women. Yeah, nobody in this comment section actually listened to the song. I'm convinced. Anyways, like, if you want to fucking shame people for fucking, like, using welfare and then complain, like, there's people that are starving out on the street, then what system are we on? Like, have some introspection and like think about, like, why is that happening? Under what system is this currently happening under? And like, also not all welfare people are obese? Question mark? What does that have to do with anything? And if you're 5'3", 300 pounds, tax on not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. So do you think like people on EBT and welfare just like buy fudge? Is that what he thinks? They just like buy candy? Is that what he thinks that people do with like like, wait a minute. I thought you were supposed to be for the working class. This just shows that you're completely out of touch. Do you really think that people on EBT food stamps or like the SNAP programs, that they're like their main priority is like buying fucking fudge cakes? Is that what this dude's impression of like welfare is? It's just rhythmic 3-minute conservative talking points. Yep. He thinks that they buy steaks and lobsters. Gotcha. Wait, and what do you mean by for people like me and you? Hold on. For people like me and people like you, what does that mean? Who is he talking to? Because clearly it's not the working class. You have no idea. You have no idea. Well, yeah, makes sense. Aren't there numbers that correlate people further down on the economic ladder with higher rates of COPD, metabolic disease, and the like? Maybe, but it's definitely not because they're on welfare. It's probably to do with, like, I don't know, the garbage food because it's cheaper because they can't afford anything else. Like, what do you think, like, poor people eat? Like, honestly, if it's between not eating, if it's between not eating that day and eating, like, I don't know, a fucking, like, dollar menu from McDonald's, then you're gonna fucking eat McDonald's because that's all you can afford. Like, as an example. It's all propaganda and social constructs. Why do we have to judge others so much? I don't know, ask him. But my point is to ask, well, if that's the case, because I don't know, you might be right, Oculus. But if that's the case, if they have higher rates of COPD, metabolic disease, and like, why is that? Certainly not because there's something inherent because you're poor. Maybe it's, I don't know, the economic system that basically leads you to very few choices. Either starve or you eat what you can afford. Because it's easier. It's easier than thinking in multiple layers. True. Anyways, garbage song from someone who claims to be speaking to the working class. I mean, like this is a perfect still image of what's going on here. Yeah, like this faux like working class dude immediately shows himself that he actually has no idea what it is to be working class, and probably so because, like, if he owns all the gear that he is displaying here, I guarantee you he's not fucking working class. Okay, if this is something that he produced himself with his own stuff as an independent artist, I can tell you right now, this dude's not working class. Guaranteed. That guitar alone is probably worth almost my entire setup. That mic alone is worth, if it's the mic that I think it is, that microphone alone is worth probably more than my entire like setup. Okay? Oh my god. Anyways, yeah, faux working class dude attempts to like make a working class song, but it ends up not being, and he demonstrably shows that he has no idea what it is to be working class, while like shaming working class people for being on, check notes, welfare, as he complains about like people on the streets? Question mark? Okay. Whatever, dude. Oh, shoot. Did I have somebody else queued up? Oh, I might have. I might have, but I don't think it's that important anymore. I'm gonna be honest. All right. Let's move on. Oh man. Does it not look like the song should have ended like this? Hold on. Before we move on.
Oh, that's so sweet. I was watching Fox News as I worked out this morning.
Right? Like, isn't that how the fucking song should have ended? I'm pretty sure that's exactly the dude's like thought process as he was making the song. Convinced. Can't change my mind. All right, let's talk about it. Really? It's not going to load for me? Really? Are there no videos that are going to load for me?
Country can say it is secure. No great.
Yeah, I mean, like 7 hours ago, this dude's talking about like how we need to fucking. This is indistinguishable from like build the wall rhetoric. The fuck are you talking about? A strong border is compassion, not bigotry. Have you seen what's been going on in the fucking southern border? Like, don't fucking tell me that what's going on in the southern border is fucking compassion. Anyways, for some reason, this particular video, isn't working. Because I was just gonna fucking like shellac him on the idea that fucking he doesn't believe in Medicare for all. Instead of we spend 4.3 trillion annually on healthcare. 86% of those funds go to treating chronic diseases. When I'm president, I'm going to end chronic disease epidemic in the country. Okay, how are you going to fucking propose Medicare for all? Because in another video, you literally said that that's not feasible. Okay? And there's a reason why we spend so much money on healthcare. It's because it's fucking private. Okay? We don't need to be spending $4.3 trillion on healthcare. It's bloated. We don't get like better outcomes. And we're paying like twice the amount of money. The answer is we're going to push for a universal healthcare system. That's the answer. But when pressed on it, he said that it's not feasible. In fact, he said that that even a public option isn't feasible. Whatever. I guess if we can get this video to work, we'll talk about it next time. Or maybe the video is just like... Anyways.
No great country can say it is secure without being able to control its borders.
On the need to better secure the border and to punish employers who choose to hire.
Yeah, and like, dude, you can also say that, like, hey, maybe, I don't know, they were fucking wrong. Just like the military doesn't need the 3.7 times 10 to the 21st power. We shovel it every year. Yep. We shovel towards it every year. Right.
Illegal immigrants.
Voted for a fence. I voted, unlike most Democrats, and some of you won't like it, I voted for 700-mile fence.
Yeah, like, this is a fucking, like, build the wall fucking rhetoric.
Illegal immigration is wrong, plain and simple.
The bill before us will certainly do some good. It will authorize some badly needed funding for better fences and better security along our borders.
Build a wall.
That should help
Build
stem
a wall.
some of the tide of illegal immigration.
Are we having fun yet?
In this country.
How's it going, Heat?
I'll tell you something, folks. People are driving across that border with tons, hear me, tons of everything.
They're bringing drugs. I mean, like, bro, are you real? Are you serious?
Products from methamphetamine to cocaine.
We are a generous and welcoming people here in the United States, but those who enter the country illegally and those who employ them disrespect the rule of law, showing disregard for those who are following the law.
I would radically ramp up the number of border security guards we have, the use of electronic surveillance material we have to go.
Wait, didn't he just say this, like, recently also? Like, what are you talking about when Democrats believed in border security? Didn't they just, like, try to, like, increase, like, funding for fucking, like, more, exactly for that? I don't know what this dude's angle is. Anyways, I was trying to, like, rag on him for fucking healthcare. Because, like, Kennedy is trying to make the claim that, like, we spend so much money so much money on fucking healthcare, but, like, why, my dude? Why are we spending 4.3 trillion? It's because it's fucking privatized, my dude. And if you're complaining about, like, treating chronic disease, what are you gonna do about it? You're certainly not in favor of any universal healthcare system. And here's a question. What is the cause of a lot of chronic diseases? Well, chronic implies that it's constant, right? I'm gonna take a gander that, like, a lot of this has to do with the fucking, like, what's constant in our lives? Food and our environment, right? Like, everything around us, what we eat, what we interact with. Stress, the stress of living under capitalism. I mean, yeah, stress is a big factor too. So are you gonna, like, advocate for food, housing, education, healthcare? I don't understand. Like, what's the point of even pointing this out? Brand's such a piece of shit and he has dementia. The Dems did all this border rhetoric to appease the fascist right, mostly. Yes. Our healthcare costs so much more than other countries, but we get worse outcomes. I mean, like, even if we concede that we get, like, similar outcomes, which I don't know, but even if we, like, even if we put it at, like, we get equal outcomes, so then why the fuck are we paying twice? Like, it doesn't make sense any way you slice it, is my point. RK Jr. is a misogynist who drove his second wife to suicide to marry his girlfriend. Jesus Christ. Oh, you don't trust me. So, like, we don't get even comparable outcomes. Okay? We don't get comparable outcomes. We're paying, like, twice as much. we get shafted at every corner because of insurance companies, then like what the fuck is the point? We have one of the highest maternal death rates in the developed world. Damn! Number 1? I knew the US was number 1. America has the best healthcare in the world if you have no issues with money. Yeah, I mean, like, if you have, like, the unlimited money glitch, then yeah, you can probably get the best healthcare because it's based on how much you have. It's based on your money. It's based on how much money. Preventive care is very important and much lacking. Yep. Because it's private and it costs money to see the doctor. Oftentimes you don't have said money or you need it to pay bills. Alright. So I was gonna try to like ragdoll him on this whole healthcare thing because like this is kind of like relevant, but I guess we're just gonna go into this. Yeah, but you do have access for a price. RFK has no moral compass. He's a grifter, probably, or yeah, maybe. I mean, like, what else can you expect from the dude that's being like backed by fucking Steve Bannon and Roger Stone, who's been palling around those people? I mean, RFK has been says he'd sign a federal abortion ban at 3 months of pregnancy and then reverse his course. Democratic presidential hopeful and known anti-vaxxer Robert Kennedy Jr. said Sunday that he would support a national ban on abortion after the first 3 months of pregnancy if elected, only to walk back that stance hours later. Alleged he misunderstood the repeated questions from NBC News on the topic. Quote, "Oh, Mr. Kennedy misunderstood the question. Mr. Kennedy misunderstood a question posed to him by an NBC reporter in a crowded, noisy exhibit hall at the Iowa State Fair." A spokesperson said, clarifying that Kennedy's stance on abortion has always been being the woman's right to choose. Kennedy does not support legislation on banning abortion. So then, like, if that's the case, and he didn't hear what the reporter said, why would he say that he would ban abortions at 3 months? This doesn't make any sense. He's also a longtime anti-vaxxer. That was his grift until it wasn't. It still kind of is, right? It's part of his shtick. Sunday morning, Kennedy was more specific, telling NBC, "I believe the decision to abort a child should be up to the women during the first 3 months of life." Pressed on whether he meant signing a federal ban at 15 or 21 weeks, he said yes. So, I mean, like, he clarified, right? He clarified because, like, his first initial response was like, the decision to abort a child should be up to the woman during the first 3 months of a life. Pressed on whether that meant signing a federal ban at 15 or 21 weeks, he said yes. Nothing he says makes any sense. Don't expect reason, and he becomes predictable. Got it. I mean, makes sense. This is just cleaning up his Freudian slip, right? Like, so he clarified. He literally clarified what he meant. I believe a decision to abort a child should be up to the woman during the first 3 months of life. Like, okay, but like, bro, nobody gives a fuck what you think about a choice you will never have to make, my dude. The correct answer is the government has no business making legislation over people's body. That's it. That's the answer. Like, this is an extremely personal and private decision that is between the person and their doctor. That's it. That's like literally like the only people that are going to be involved in this. Okay? Quote, once a child is viable outside the womb, I think the state has an interest to protect the child. Bro. What? What are you talking about? Once the child is viable outside the womb, then it is a child, my dude. Then we're not talking about abortions anymore. They are outside the womb. You mean like after they're born, then they're born and like that's it? What are you talking about? There wouldn't be like an abortion discussion at this point. I think a lot of would-be fascists would have been activated by Trump, and some want to be the dictator themselves. Maybe. I think he's actually mentally unstable and evil. Maybe. I'm all for medical freedom. Individuals are able to make their own choices, but you just said that you would be in favor of the state getting involved in a decision that has nothing to do with you. That has nothing to do with anybody except the person that's being faced with that decision and the doctor, right? The original stance put Kennedy, who's mounting a controversial long-shot bid to unseat Biden as the Democratic standard bearer in 2024, out of step with the majority of his party at a time when abortion access had been sustained motivator for voters. A leading conservative anti-abortion group, Susan B. Anthony List, praised Kennedy's position in a statement, calling it a stark contrast to the Democrats' radical stance of abortion on demand. True, dude. Abortion on demand, dude. Like, right away. Right away. There's conservatives, the unstable ones, think doctors deliver babies and kill them immediately after. Right, this is like... Okay, so this idea that we should even entertain a hypothetical... Or like we should even entertain that we should even entertain like these crazy like hypotheticals that these people make up only serves like the right. And people gave me shit for that point. Kennedy's one of the few prominent Democrats. And, like, I don't know, like, what you're backpedaling, because clearly the right wing clearly the right wing heard you and are agreeing with you. Kennedy's one of the few prominent Democrats aligned with the consensus of people today. Every candidate should be asked, where do you draw the line? No, dude. No, dude. There shouldn't be a question as to where the government gets involved in your personal decisions, my dude. Yeah, like an abortion subscription service. That's right. Abortion on demand. In the interview, Kennedy defended running as a Democrat despite espousing multiple typical conservative talking points during the 15-minute appearance. For instance, Kennedy said he would have not voted to support the Inflation Reduction Act. Among the biggest Democratic policy wins for Biden's first term, asked about the hundreds of billions of dollars in investment to fight climate change. Kennedy said, they say that this is fighting climate change. It's actually doing the opposite. Okay, maybe, but you have to explain that, okay? You have to explain that, because some of that legislation is good. But your immediate answer should be like, well, they're not doing enough. Kennedy steeply trails Biden in the polls and has been dogged by controversy in his few months as candidate, including having spread repeated disinformation about the efficacy of vaccinations and deaths during the COVID pandemic, as well as anti-Semitic remarks. While he agreed that the former President Trump has lost the 2020 election, he posited that elections can get stolen in this country. Can get stolen, maybe, but like, why would you make such a fucking comment? Yeah, dude, tomorrow it can rain. It doesn't mean it will. Like, what is the point of even making that comment Unless you're just kind of wanting to, I don't know, maybe dog whistle to that crowd. Asked whether he thinks Trump tried to overturn the election results after he lost, Kennedy said that based on what he had seen, it seems like he was trying to overturn it. But he added that the indictments themselves are not disqualifying. Convictions might, but indictments don't. I think we're living in a weird period of history right now. What are you talking about? My dude's breaking like the law in real time. My man's out there like literally witness tampering in real time in IRL. What are you talking about? He's a Nepo baby, but not quite as good as the original. Yep. Anyways, deeply unserious person, okay? Deeply unserious person and probably some kind of fucking, like, right-wing op, okay? This is some kind of fucking right-wing psyop. Being propped up by Stephen Bannon and Roger Stone is not a fucking mistake. That's not an accident. So someone brought this to my attention, but this actually happened quite a while ago. So for the folks that don't remember, there was a teacher. Stone thinks it's hilarious to use a Kennedy against the Dems. Yeah, and like Steve Bannon too, apparently. It's not an accident that these people are involved, right? It's not an accident that like people like Ron DeSantis are like, yeah, he'll be in my cabinet. Like, I'll be down to choose him as part of my cabinet. There's a reason for that, folks. So yeah, this happened a few months ago. For those of you that don't remember, there's a teacher who got shot. Apparently this student who was very young managed to obtain a handgun, bring it to school, and then consequently shoot his teacher. And I didn't actually catch this part of the story. But yeah, this is a pretty horrific response to the lawsuit that's, I believe, still being fought. So apparently I'm appalled at this. Yes, I think somebody in one Discord channel brought it up, because this is the full story behind that meme or that picture that was screenshotted. This is the story behind it, because I had to kind of go back and look for it. But yeah, the motion that was filed argues that the injury suffered by this teacher should be remedied as workers' comp, and state law exists for the benefit of employees for the purpose of providing coverage for workplace injuries without having to prove negligence on the part of the employer. The negligence complaint said she incurred physical and mental pain, mental anguish as a result of the shooting, in which the unnamed student brought a handgun to school and discharged it, even though staff and other students allegedly gave multiple warnings to the administrators that he posed an imminent danger. Yes, okay, yeah, that's okay, got it. Attorney for Zorner told NBC News that after her negligence lawsuit was filed on April 3rd, that he disagreed with the notion that her complaint should be filed as worker comp under Virginia law, since theoretically workers can't sue their own employers. The shooting is an exception, the lawyer said, because no 6-year-old is going to be at risk of shooting their teacher. For teachers, he added, it's not part of their job. It's then they are not a 7-11 worker. But in response, this is where it gets really fucked up. The response filed on behalf of the 3 of 4 defendants, the Newport News School Board, former Superintendent George Parker III, and former Rickneck Elementary School Principal Breonna Foster Newton. They contend that there's an unfortunate reality of violence in schools, and this problem extends to elementary school teachers. So another way of putting it is, it's sorry, this just kind of is par for the course for your job. Like if there's a school shooting, it's just like, listen, bro, it is what it is. The response also cites national surveys and teachers that reported verbal or threatening behavior against them by students. Unfortunately, Newport News public schools experienced similar incidents of threats and attacks by students. That's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. The fact that you're just like saying this was just like a part of the job. I'm sorry, but like being shot, is not part of the job, okay? Quote, the fact that the student used a gun as opposed to stabbing with a pair of scissors or throwing a textbook. Yeah, dude. Yeah, same thing. You know, when a 6-year-old fucking tries to like stab you with a pair of scissors, it's the same thing as when they, shoot a fucking gun at you. Yes, when a 6-year-old throws a textbook, at a teacher's head does not change this basic fact. Regulate the safety scissors. That's on the parents and the school. Right. Especially the school, since they were warned repeatedly. So my husband said they're treating teachers like police, but I said they don't get treated as well. Like, if a fucking police officer gets shot, then like they get like they get like pay. They get put on leave. They're arguing that this shouldn't be the case. Kids wouldn't misbehave if it was just taught them right. I'm not a Democrat or anything, but I know common sense. Like, I don't even know what this means. The kid had behavioral problems. Like, this isn't something that you could just solve by teaching them right. I don't even know what the fuck that even means. There's a lot of different factors at play here. For one, the parents, the mom in particular, was not there that day, or the parents weren't there that day because they were supposed to be there because the kid's known to have like behavioral problems because, well, he's got something going on. Number two, they left, they had a firearm in the house, period, which is how this whole thing happened to begin with. And the teacher had warned them repeatedly about this student, and the school board did nothing because apparently the kid was like on this path for a while now. It's truly disgusting how teachers are fucking being treated, and especially with this case. All right, folks. Right, it's part of their job to get shot. Like, how fucked up is that? How messed up is that? Like, to not even like attempt to like address the problem. Right, they did nothing to prevent this, and there were so many warning signs. Yep. And then to like tell this teacher that it's just like part of the job, like, yeah, dude, school shootings. Right, the kid didn't visit the shady side of town at 3 a.m. to buy a black market pistol to use against the teacher. Right, it was a completely legal firearm that somehow the parents, whoever, I think it was the mom, thought it was a good idea to own a firearm, knowing that like her child has like emotional issues, knowing that the child goes to therapy and goes to like through treatment. Somehow she, in her infinite wisdom, or in their infinite wisdom, decided that having a firearm in the house was the appropriate avenue. The idea that it's an expectation if you work at 7-Eleven, no one should have to worry about being shot at work. Right. Right. You're absolutely correct. And like the idea, like this really shows you like how the priorities are completely ass backwards in this fucking country. The fact that like, you know, like Sharpie Diesel just pointed out, the fact that like, oh, well, you work at 7-Eleven. I mean, it's just, you know, being shot, meh. And like to then turn around and like say a teacher like, oh, it's just like, you know, it's just part of the job, you know, school shooting. Some dude might come in with a fucking rifle and like light up the place. Hey, I don't know. It's just part of the job, dude. What? Oh, if a kid sneaks in a gun and just starts like shooting like at you, it's just like, it's just part of the job. Right, a completely legal unsecured firearm at work. Yeah, at home. Yeah, like the fact that like the mom tried to say that like she had a safe or some kind of trigger guard, because I was reading like the more recent stuff on this case. The fact that like she tried to say that this firearm had some kind of fucking trigger lock or a safe is fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. If it really did have a trigger lock, how the fuck did the kid because like, you know, if it has a trigger lock and they have that secured, even if the kid brings it to school, they can't do anything with it, right? Supposedly, that's the point of the trigger lock. How the fuck did he get it off? Like, answer that question. How the hell did he get it off? If indeed it was secured as she claimed it was not. Guaranteed it was not. And the safe, clearly it wasn't in the safe, unless you leave your safes unlocked. So it was definitely not in the safe, presuming that you're not lying about that to begin with. It definitely was not in the safe. And if it was in a safe, if that safe exists, it was definitely not locked, so not secured. It clearly did not have a trigger lock, which she claimed that she bought one, or she has one for it. Clearly that was not on, so I don't know. And a teacher got shot because of it. And now they're trying to say that that's just part of the fucking job. That tells you where our fucking priorities are. All right, so lowercase w. This is good news. Okay? This is good news. They do sell gun safes, trigger locks, and hammer locks. Also, how about storing the ammo away from the weapon or removing the firing pin? Yeah, or like the kid's a kid. Kids get into everything. And you know that a kid is going to like treatment for like behavioral issues. Why the fuck would you introduce a firearm into the environment? That's what blows my mind. That's what blows my mind about the whole story. Like, this isn't like a new thing. The parents were taking this kid to receive the treatment that they need and were working with the kid. They had professionals. They were going to, like, I don't know, for lack of a better word, for lack of a better term, they were going through like therapy sessions, right? The parents were supposed to be there at school at all times. Like they were trying to, work this out with the kid or work through this with the kid. But like, why the fuck would you introduce a firearm into that environment? Period. Full stop. That is irresponsible. That is irresponsible. Like knowing if I had a kid and I knew that, we were going through this with the kid, the last thing that I would want in a house is a fucking firearm. I don't give a shit how safe you think that fucking or how safe you think fucking your firearm is. Kids get into everything. Okay? If they're typical to a family, they were teaching their kid how to use a gun before they could walk or how to use the potty. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, but my question is knowing that your son is this way. Why would you even dare to introduce a firearm into that environment? It makes no damn sense. It makes no damn sense. If I had if this is obviously because I would love my kid and all, I would immediately get rid of all firearms in the vicinity. It just wouldn't be in the house. Period. Full stop. There would be no firearms in the house. It just makes no damn sense. It could have gone another way to suicide. Yeah, maybe. Although I don't know, if the kid was showing that type of the ideation or whatever. Yeah, scary as it is finding out your dad has an unlocked gun in the house and your kid is sleeping over it. Yeah, especially if the kid doesn't know and they're not conscious of what it is, and especially if it's just sitting there chilling. If you know that there's going to be a child involved, you need to do what you need to do to fucking make sure that either you better make sure that it is unreachable, and has multiple layers of safety, or just I don't know, put the firearm somewhere else in the meantime. It makes sense because regardless of the problem the kid has, the adults cannot have their rights infringed in any way. True, dang it. I don't know. It just makes no damn sense. That's the real conundrum that I've had since hearing about this story is why the fuck would you have a firearm? In that scenario, it just makes no damn sense. Anyways. Even kids with gun safety training make stupid decisions sometimes. That may be the case. Obviously it's less likely so, but yeah, they're still fucking kids. They're still kids. They're still kids. At the end of the day. At the end of the day, they're still kids. You apply way too much logic to an illogical reality. True. I mean, it is my channel name. Okay, the truth is difficult. It is my channel name. All right, to bring us to that lowercase w, young environmental activists prevail in a first of its kind climate change trial in Montana. Young environmental activists scored what may be groundbreaking legal victory on Monday when a Montana judge said the agencies were violating their constitutional right to a clean and healthy environment by allowing fossil fuel development. This might be huge. The ruling in this first-of-a-kind trial in the U.S. adds to a small number of legal decisions around the world that have established a government duty to protect citizens from climate change. If it stands, the ruling could set an important legal precedent, though experts said its immediate impacts will be limited, and the state officials pledged to seek to overturn that decision on appeal. The district court, Kathy Seeley, found the policy that the state uses in evaluating requests for fossil fuel permits, which does not allow agencies to evaluate the effects of greenhouse gas emissions, is unconstitutional. Judge Seeley wrote in the ruling, Montana's emission and climate change have proven to be a substantial factor in causing climate impacts on Montana's environment and harm and injury. Law professor David Dana at the Northwestern Pritzker School of Law said the ruling was a remarkable win for the young climate activists and predicted it will be used as a guidepost for attorneys bringing similar suits in other states. However, it's up to the Montana legislature to determine how to bring the state's policies into compliance. That leaves slim chance for immediate change in a fossil fuel-friendly state where Republicans dominate the state house. Montana is one of the few states that has environmental protections written into its constitution. That's fucking important. Because, like, you know, obviously it's on just the Montana state constitution, but, like, Costa Rica has, I think the right to a healthy environment as part of its national constitution. That's really what it should be. Here. In 1949, the Constitution of Costa Rica was amended. The 1949 Constitution of Costa Rica was amended in 1994 to incorporate the right to a healthy and ecologically balanced environment. Can you imagine if we had that amendment here? Can you imagine if we had that amendment? That'd be nice. The ruling really provides nothing beyond emotional support for the many cases seeking to establish a public trust right, human right, or a federal constitution right to a healthy environment, said James Huffman, Dean Emeritus at the Lewis and Clark School in Portland. State officials tried to derail the case and prevent it from going through trial through numerous motions to dismiss the lawsuit. Seeley did reject those attempts. As the fire... Julia Olson, an attorney representing the youth, released a statement calling the ruling a win for Montana, for youth, for democracy, and for our climate. As fires rage in the West fueled by fossil fuel pollution, today's ruling in Montana is a game changer that marks a turning point in this generation's efforts to save the planet from the devastating effects of human-caused climate chaos. It said Olson, the executive director of All Children's Trust, an Oregon environmental group that has filed lawsuits over climate change in every state since 2011. I mean, like, they literally made a study, that these wildfires or these heat waves could actually not be possible without climate change to this degree. I mean, had there been no climate change, such an event, like, they're just talking, like, when they say climate change, they're talking about anthropogenic climate change. This is human-caused climate change. We're talking about the same kind of colloquial climate crisis, whatever, climate change, like, all of these are interchangeable. Had there been no climate change, such an event would almost never occur. said the study lead author Miriam Zachariah, climate scientist at the Imperial College of London. She called the heat waves in Europe and North America virtually impossible without the increase of heat from the mid-1800s. Statistically, the one in China could have happened without global warming. Several climate scientists using tree rings and other stand-in for temperature records say this month is likely the hottest on Earth that it has been in 120,000 years, easily the hottest of human civilization. Since the advent of industrial-scale burning, the world has warmed 2.2 degrees Fahrenheit, so they're not rare in today's climate, and the role of climate change is absolutely overwhelming, said Imperial College climate scientist Frederick Otto, who leads a team of volunteer international scientists at World Weather Attribute Group, who does these studies. So, like, an international coalition of scientists from across the world are worked on this to basically say, like, yeah, these kind of things are virtually impossible without human-induced climate change. That's virtually impossible. It's 106 where I am today, which is abnormal. Yeah, everything here is abnormal. Unfortunately. The particular intense heat waves that Texas, California, Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada, Baja California, Sonora, Chihuahua, Coahuila are now roasting through are likely to happen about once every 15 years in the current climate. Sheesh. Like, that isn't to say that every single incident is related to climate change, because, like, you have to do studies to link the specific incident. But, like, on a general trend, like, all these heat waves, as, like, a general rule of thumb, are increasing in frequency and intensity because of what we're doing. Like, there's just literally no discussion there. There's no disputing that fact. We're the ones doing it. Period. Happy that they're able to turn out attribution studies are fast now? Yes. Yes. You have to think like they do. First, reduce your mental capacity by restraining yourself, take enough uppers to stay away from... Listen, bro, I'm gonna stop you right there, Jordan Peterson, all right? I don't have that capacity. Subject yourself to 24/7 right-wing news and social media while slamming your head continuously into the Bible to make Jesus your savior. Once that's complete, dive into Rumble and 4chan. Don't emerge until you memorize the 24 hours worth of posts and buy a gun, marry it. Then you can buy a gun and marry it. And then you're set for your first Trump rally and rejoin the real American society. Damn, I don't know if I could handle that. I'm going to be honest. Emily Flower, the spokesperson for Montana Attorney General Austin Knudsen, decried the ruling as absurd and said the office planned to appeal. She criticized the city for allowing the plaintiffs to put on what Flower called a taxpayer-funded publicity stunt. Yeah, dude, fucking like reality, trying to like bring awareness to reality for their future because these are kids, these are youth. Is a fucking taxpayer-funded publicity stunt to these people. Montans can't be blamed for changing the climate. No, fossil fuels are being enabled in Montana. I guess in a roundabout way, the taxes that Montanans pay that subsidize these companies. Their same legal theory had been thrown out in federal courts in more than a dozen states. It should have been here as well, but they found an ideological judge who bent over backwards to allow the case to move forward and earn herself a spot in their next documentary. Ah, yes, that's what it's about. Is there a documentary going on? Probably not. Sadly, Kick shows Trump rallies, Russell Brand and Alex Jones now at their own risk. Kick things not. We'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna take a pass on Kick. I'm good. I'm good. Attorneys for 16 plaintiffs ranging from 5 to 22 presented evidence during the 2-week trial in June that increasing carbon dioxide emissions that are driving hotter temperatures, more drought and wildfires, and decreased snowpack The plaintiff said those changes are harming their mental and physical health, while wildfires, smoke choking the air they breathe, and drought drying out rivers that sustain agriculture, fish, wildlife, and recreation. Native Americans testifying for the plaintiffs said climate change affects their ceremonies and traditional food sources. I know that climate change is a global issue, but Montana needs to take responsibility for our part. We can't just blow it off and do nothing about it. The state argued that even if Montana completely stopped producing CO2, it would have no effect on the global scale because states and countries around the world contribute to the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere. So, like, I mean, like, this is some, like, really, really, like, childish level of logic. So because nobody's doing the right thing, we shouldn't either? Question mark? That makes no sense. This is the same argument that, like, climate change denialists try to use when they say, like, oh, but what about China? What about China? You live in the US, don't you? What about China? What about India? I don't give a shit. Like, we're supposed to be doing the right thing because it's right. Yeah, it makes business sense, true. More like they found a judge with reasoning ability to connect the dots, yep. The same logic, but Jimmy also broke a window, so I can as well, exactly. China's emissions are lower per capita than ours. Yeah, probably. I don't know. I'm just using, like, the standard, like, conservative deflection. Like, well, what about China? Or what about India? Or what about whatever? Like, bro, I don't give a shit. Okay? Or how about them? Oh, yeah, it's the same thing. Like, imagine being mad because you got caught speeding while, like, a bunch of other people were speeding too. Like, bro, they're wrong too, dude. How about doing the right thing because it's less expensive to maintain? There you go. Donald Trump gets job and Fulton announces the cameras will be allowed into the courtroom if Trump is indicted this week, meaning we'll get to see it all, but it gets so much worse. Not only will cameras be allowed, video will also be allowed. Imagine how defeated cowards going to look. Well, I mean, if they televise, like, the trial, we definitely can at least extrapolate clips from it. At least we can get video of it. Because states and countries around the world contribute to the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere. So wait, you admit that this is a problem. You just don't give a shit. That's what it is. Got it. A remedy has to offer relief, the state said, or it's not a remedy at all. But it is if you're the ones that are pushing for a carbon, neutral, like, state program. I don't understand. But Sia said the state attorneys failed to give a compelling reason for why they were not evaluating greenhouse gas emissions. He rejected the notion that Montana's greenhouse gas emissions are insignificant and noted that renewable power is technically feasible and economically beneficial, citing testimony from the trial indicating that Montana could replace 80% of existing fossil fuels by 2030. 80%. Every additional ton of greenhouse gas emissions exacerbate the plaintiff's injuries and risk locking in irreversible climate injuries. She's right. She's 100% right. Since its founding, our Children's Trust raised more than $20 billion to press its lawsuits in state and federal courts. No previous attempts reached trial. Carbon dioxide, which is really... Okay, we know what CO2 means. We know what the greenhouse gas effect is. Greenhouse gas emissions have reached record high last year, according to the International Energy Agency. July was the hottest month on record and likely the warmest the human civilization have seen. Yeah. So, good memes. This is actually a lowercase w, and we'll see if any other cases actually are able to piggyback off this kind of line of argumentation. All right, folks, we got one more. Georgia court website briefly publishes and removes document about potential Trump charges. The Fulton County, Georgia court's website briefly posted a document on Monday listing several criminal charges against Trump that appeared related to his attempts to overturn the 2020 election defeat in the state before taking that document down without explanation. The Fulton County District Attorney Office said in a statement that no charges have been filed against Trump yet. The document was dated August 14th and named Trump, citing the case as, quote, open, but is no longer available on the court website. Reuters was not immediately able to determine why that item was posted or even removed. Reuters report that those charges were filed as inaccurate. Beyond that, we cannot comment. Trump, the frontrunner of the Republican nomination to challenge Democratic President Biden, has been criminally indicted 3 times so far. The latest one by Jack Smith on charges of trying to overturn the election defeat. He has long dismissed the many investigations, including 2 impeachments he has faced in years in politics as politically motivated witch hunts. The Fulton County Clerk's Office in the statement said no document had been filed on Monday related to the grand jury has been hearing and evidence in the case. The office described it as called a fictitious document that has been circulating online without specifying whether it was the one listing criminal charges against Trump. Yeah, I don't know. I think somebody leaked this as a preview. I think somebody leaked this as a preview and immediately had to take it down. That's just my opinion. But I guess it doesn't really matter because we're going to end up seeing what's going to happen. I assume by the end of the week or next week, we're going to find out exactly what's happening. Actually, things keep going the way they are. CO2 will not be the issue. O2 production will start being a problem. Yeah. Marjorie Taylor Greene going to be mad. I mean, I really don't care about her. What she has to say in the matter of this. Yeah, I mean, I just caught this attention. This just caught my attention, I should say. Oh boy. Quote, our posts go viral because they wobble the load-bearing structure of others' beliefs. Yeah, okay, dude. Or maybe because you're so fucking egregious that people are calling you out on your bullshit. Ideas like, quote, free insulin requires slavery, which it doesn't, question mark, and also that wasn't like the only part, like the only problem with the stuff that you were tweeting. Like, I don't know, telling Nina Turner, a black woman, to pick crops. Yeah, or children would learn more from more working makes people feel threatened. Not really. It doesn't make me feel threatened. You're just wrong. You're just wrong. The Earth's response is a need to reassert certainty over a triggered doubt. I mean, like, you can, like, dance around some, like, weird pseudo, like, you know, pretend I'm being smart. Pretend I'm being smart tweet. But, like, nah. You're just wrong. Yeah, what an ego. Echo Wrestle Dragon with a Prime sub for 2 months. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Like, no, man. Insulin, making insulin, like, free at the point of, you know, use, or I guess free at the point of, like, picking up your meds, does not require slavery actually, at all. That's not how this works. Like, you don't look at city workers and be like, wow, those are slaves. What? You don't look at like government services like roads or infrastructure and think like, wow, this is a product of slavery. No, man. Libertarians have an internally consistent understanding that has nothing to do with the outside real world. Yeah, this is completely not conducive in the real world. Libertarianism. Anyways, this just caught my attention. I should make like an account called Libertarians Posting Owls. That's why it's so convincing to them, but it's naive. Yeah, this is a child's understanding of how the world works. Anyways. All right, folks, we did it. Folks, if you enjoy the content and want to help out the channel, but can't do so monetarily, make sure you head on over to the YouTube channel. It really does help us out. Subscribe, as 245 of you have already done so. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for your support. I appreciate it. Make sure you hit the follow button. It really does help us out. Join us Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Tomorrow, we'll see. I will be posting on the Discord, but otherwise, 5 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you spread the word far and wide. Bring a friend. Bring a friend. Thank you so much for the subscriptions, follows, biddies, all that. You guys are what makes this channel grow. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for all your support. Thank you, Heat. Thank you, Michael Hassler, for keeping the chat chill. I appreciate it. Thank you, moderators. Thank you, Echo Rester Dragon, SV Harkin, Michael Hassler, Conscious Canuck, Alio Share, Elwa Links, Sharpie Diesel, Heat, Utterly Milky, I think I got everybody. Oculus, spread it forward. Thank you for being in the chat as well, keeping the chat chill. A-Bond, thank you so much for mixing it up in the chat. Zeoduke, thank you. Raymond from YouTube. Appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like and do all that awesome stuff. Also, I guess our troll never came back. He was never, he never got banned. I think he just got timed out. They never came back. Sad. Sad, sad. Oh, I'm still here. You're not a troll, Memo. You're not a troll. Hey, look at that. Zeoduke appearing on the YouTube. Americans are a virus? I'm not a virus, I promise. Kind of weird name. Alright. I gotta get out of here, folks. As always, please stay safe. Please take care of each other. I'll be on. I hope to see you guys in the next one tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. See ya. Whew, sorry about that, folks. I am tired. Take care. Thank you, Zeal Duke. All right, folks. Hang tight. Thank you, Michael Hasser. Thank you, Heat. We're heading out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See ya.